Today on HSS Kitchen, we're going to make hard-boiled eggs two different ways. One is the traditional stovetop method, and the second way is going to be in the air fryer. But before we get into that, this is my first video on HSS Kitchen, and I wanted to take a second just to introduce myself and talk about why I wanted to start the channel. My real name is Carl, but literally everyone calls me Hoss, hence HSS Kitchen. And my whole life, I've always loved new hobbies and learning things. And I remember when I was 12 years old, I was watching a cooking show on PBS called The Frugal Gourmet. And he was making omelets. And he literally looked right at me through the TV and said, "You can do this." So I got up and I made an omelet. I think I was 12. And cracked the eggs, made the omelet. The first one turned out awful. I threw it out. I did it again, made the second one. It was perfect. And ever since then, I've just loved cooking. So I guess it all goes back to when I was 12 years old. And the reasons why I wanted to start this channel were two main reasons. I personally know a lot of people that are afraid to cook. They might be afraid to cook chicken, or they might be afraid to cook this or that, or season things properly. So I just wanted to make something where it's simple and anyone can do it, and we can all make great tasting food at home. And the second reason is I research things a lot. It doesn't matter what it is. I'll read about it. I'll watch videos on it. So I wanted to create a place where I do all the research so you don't have to. So let's get started with the eggs. First off, though, on HSS Kitchen, each recipe is going to have what I'm going to call HSS Strict Standards, or HSS. And what these are going to be are a set of guidelines or rules that make sure that the recipe is simple, anyone can do it, and it's going to turn out and taste great. So for when it comes to hard-boiled eggs, there's going to be three HSS Strict Standard rules. One, they have to be easy to peel. There's nothing worse than hard-to-peel eggs, especially when you're trying to make Thanksgiving deviled eggs or Christmas deviled eggs, and you're peeling them, and the egg whites look like craters on the moon, and your yolks are all gnarly and overcooked. We don't want that. We want perfectly cooked eggs that are easy to peel. So that's one. Number two is the eggs have to be cooked to perfection. We want the whites to be right, and we also want the yolks to not be overcooked and green and also not be undercooked. And the third thing is it needs to be simple so anyone can do it with minimal cleanup and minimal ingredients. Here's what you're going to need. First off, you're going to need some eggs. And I have found Eggland's Best work really well for hard-boiled eggs as far as cooking them and peeling them. And as much as I love brown-shelled organic eggs, sometimes it seems like they don't peel as well. Maybe it's me, I don't know. But I found that Eggland's Best work really well. So you're going to need eggs. We're going to do 4 in the air fryer and 4 on the stovetop. You're also going to need some tongs because the eggs can get hot. You need to either put them in or take them out. You're going to need a kitchen timer. You can use your phone if you want to. You're going to need a bowl full of ice cubes, and you're going to need a bowl full of water. This is called an ice bath. So before you even get started, you can dump the ice in there and make some cold water to put the eggs in after you're done cooking them. Now let's go through how we're going to cook the eggs. On the stovetop, what you need is a saucepan with a lid and enough water inside the saucepan to cover the eggs when you put them in. And we're going to bring that up to a boil before we put the eggs in. For the air fryer, we're going to preheat it at 250 degrees for 3 minutes and then add our eggs. The air fryer is now preheated. We did 250 degrees for 3 minutes. I am now going to remove the tray. It is hot, so we want to use our tongs. We're going to do 4 eggs again. I'm going to use tongs to put the eggs in. And then we're going to cook them for 18 minutes at 250 degrees. Now, I have the Cosori air fryer. Your air fryer might be a little hotter, a little colder, so this should be close to the proper time, but you might have to experiment just to get it perfect. But I found with this one, 18 minutes at 250 is perfect. So I'm going to set this up, and then we're going to go. 250, 18 minutes, and go. My water is now boiling on the stovetop, so I'm going to take some tongs, and I'm going to add the eggs to the boiling water. I'm going to let them sit in the boiling water for 60 seconds. Then I'm going to cover the pan and reduce the heat to low. The eggs have been in the boiling water for about a minute now. So now I'm going to cover the pan and reduce the heat to low. I have a timer set for 13 minutes, and we're going to start that right now. So they're just going to sit there for 13 minutes. Okay, the eggs in the air fryer are now done. I'm going to remove the basket. I'm going to put it on something safe on the counter. we're going to take our tongs and put the eggs into the ice water for 15 minutes. And there's the timer for our eggs on the stovetop. So I'll stop that. And now I need a mitt. It's hot. I'm going to take the lid off. And we are going to, I have a second ice bath over here so we can keep the two types of eggs separate. And we're going to put the eggs into that ice bath. Here we have the eggs out of the air fryer. They've been sitting in the ice bath for 15 minutes, and now we're going to peel them. Now we're going to crack the egg on the cutting board and peel it. It helps to start peeling at the bottom, the wider part of the egg. Peels a little easier. See how easy that peeled? And we're going to cut it in half. And you've got a perfectly cooked yolk. Here's the eggs that have been sitting in an ice bath for 15 minutes from the stovetop method using the hot water. So now we're going to peel them and see how easy they are to peel. Now keep in mind they are eggs, so every once in a while one of them may crack in the pan, but that's okay, it's still going to peel fine. So now we're going to peel the eggs that were cooked on the stovetop. As you can see, I cooked 4. 3 of them are perfect, 1 of them cracked in the pan. But we're going to peel it. Look, that shell just comes right off. Going to crack it a little bit. And that shell, look how easy that shell comes right off. You can mix it in a little water. We'll put that one right there. Now here's one of the ones that didn't crack. We're going to crack that on the countertop and see how easy this one peels. And that peel just comes right off, no problem. So these are 2 perfectly cooked eggs, and I'm just going to rinse them off a little bit, and I'm going to just cut them to show you how perfect the yolk is as well. That's a perfectly cooked yolk. It's not overdone. And here's another one, perfectly cooked yolk, not overdone at all. So that's it. There's hard-boiled eggs, easy to peel, come out perfect for your deviled eggs or whatever you want to use hard-boiled eggs for. Thanks for watching Hoss's Kitchen's first video. If you're watching this on YouTube, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you're on Instagram, please tag Hoss's Kitchen. I would love to see photos of your deviled eggs.